Hello and welcome to another Blender recap video, and in this one we'll take a look at rigging in Blender. So let's get started by turning on screencast keys. Okay, so we have this cube. We would like to make this cube bigger, so press the S key to scale, and we want to scale it in the Z to make it like taller, and then we'll press 2 to make it like twice as big. And then now we have this. Now, right now, it's just like, one solid thing that we cannot really twist and turn. So, we'll tab into edit mode. Yes, edit mode. And then do loop cut. Press that. Place one here. You can do with your scroll bar how many ever you want to do. But a lot of times this will work best for everybody. Because if you're working with the keypad, then this just sure shot works every time. Doing it down here in this box. But one thing to be mindful is once you set this and then you press enter and you go on, then you can never pull this back up again, or unless you command Z. So we're gonna, that's it. So we have that now. And now we can really work with the reading. So now this box is gone. So let's place an armature. Place Shift A, then putting that. So now we can't, nothing really happened. But if you actually zoom into the mesh, the bone has been placed in here. And currently we cannot see it. And if we want to, we have to go into wireframe mode. But we really want to stay in here. So we would go down over here to the data or the armature, and then go to viewport display and turn on in front. Now it's in front, and you can even use names. For different, how many ever bones you have, you can name them. Like if you're making a person, which we'll look at the end, you can have them named like the shoulder bone, forearm, whatnot. And then this is how the bone looks. So this one's called, the most common one, octahedral. You can do stick, B-bone, envelope, and wire. Alright, turn off the names and go back to the octahedral. So one thing to know with bones is that this is the root and this is the leaf. So now what we want to do is we have the bone. So let's see if we rotate it. Here, if we select the bone. No, before that, we need to parent it, because currently if we rotate it, press the y-axis, it's just going to rotate the bone. Well, we want to be able to do stuff with the mesh. So you select the mesh, then shift select this, then control P is what the key you want to, hotkey you want to use, and then you'll bring up this, and then we want to use, people will use empty groups or with envelope weights. But we want to go with automatic weights. That's, easy way for us to work with it. And then over here, what we're gonna do is trying to we're gonna try to move it. So if you select that, and then now we can go to the pose mode over here. It's only available when you have a bone placed and then it's selected. And now if we try rotating it on the y-axis, it just moves the whole cube. We don't want that. So we're gonna command Z back. Now if we do this, why is it still parented? Why is it still parented? Okay, we need to go. We haven't gone back far enough. Now it shouldn't be parented. Yes, just didn't go back far enough. So right now what it does is it just moves the whole square. We can't really be like precise or be more, um, like do bends. It just moves the whole thing. So what we want to do is we want to add more bones. So what we need to do is let's go into a view like that, and then select this bone, grab Z, move it down all the way to right there, go into edit mode. If I have this bone selected, press extrude and make it kind of similar size, like right there. And then the hotkey is Control R. I want to repeat. Control R. Right. Why would I not do that? Guess we'll just shouldn't do that. Okay. 1 second. So there's the hotkey where you can have it repeat the action of what you just did. Let's I think it's so select that extrude, make something in the Z axis like that, something similar to the last one. Shift R. Yep, Shift R. That's what you want to do. There we go. So now we have more bones, and now with the loop cuts we made and with these ones, we can do like more nice bends with it. So what we're gonna do is, and then you might be wondering why there's a bone just sticking out. So usually when you do rigging, you wanna have helper bones in the model. But in real life, you obviously don't want your bones sticking out of your mesh or your body. But in this, you want to use that because it, helps you work with rigging. So what we'll do is now we need to parent it back again. So okay, go back to the object mode. All of that selected both. First select the mesh, then select that. Control P. With automatic weights, we have parented it. And let's go back to pose mode. And then, hopefully now, if we press rotate, axis, there we go. Oh, okay, I'm looking at the wrong way. Okay, nice. If we look at it this way now, rotate on the y-axis, we can do our bends. Rotate. This currently, I'll show you. Yeah, currently this doesn't do anything because it's sticking out, but we can actually make it do stuff. A second. So now we can adjust these individual bones, rotate it, and make cool bends. Like that. So this just illustrate the basics of bones and how this can, help you create. Because one of the create, kind of like actions. So because one of the things that's required for your final is being able to do armature or rigging and keyframing. And so something you could do with this is use like a cylinder, add bones, and make like a snake. And then you could keyframe it. So if we go into animation, let's try to do this. So we can go to like frame 100. I guess, yeah, let's go to frame 100. Yeah, this bone selected. We're still in pose mode. Rotate. Y-axis. Do that. Not quite like that. Like that. And high. Let's see. I didn't have an initial. I didn't set the initial. So let's command Z back. Okay. Frame 1. Okay. Okay, frame 1. Just insert the keyframe, please. Insert keyframe. Okay. Frame 1, when you have that, let's go to frame 100. Okay, there we go. Frame 100, that's selected. Rotate like that. Insert keyframe. Would this work? No, that's weird. Why is doing that? That's something I'm gonna have to look into, but okay. Let's just go back. Sidetracked a little bit. Go back to layout. So you'll be wondering why you're only able to like adjust. So like right now it just moves. If we go back to okay, pose mode. Okay, rotate it on the Y. It does like this much effect, but you would want to be able to customize it, and that's where you have to go. You have to do weight paint. That will allow you to adjust how much weight does each bone have. And in order for that, what you have to do, command Z back, go back to object mode, select the mesh, then you'll have the weight paint option. So in here, if we go and you have to select the bone from here, not by clicking on here. So let's just say bone that's the bottom bone. Yeah, bone 4, which is this one, but currently it's not doing anything. Does it allow you to add? Yes, there we go. So this weight goes from blue to red, and it's the red is like the more effect it'll have, like stronger effect that bone will have when you move it. And this is like the most when in rigging, Dr. Rick said they have people that do rigging as like a job, and the reason it's such a it's a job itself is because this weight painting part is the most hard and tedious part that they're gonna have to do, and there's a lot of these bones that they will have when doing these animations. That's because you want to have to properly determine the weight. So I'm just trying to show if we can. Yes, so it does it on the corners, huh? Yes, just adding some weight for this top bone here, even though it's not as well attached. So we're getting some reds in there. There we go. Getting some reds. Right. So now if we go back into pose mode, nope. Okay, object mode, select the bone. Pose mode, select this one. Look at that. Before it wouldn't move, but now that we added the weight to it, it moves. So yeah, that's how. Go back into object mode. So that's what you have to do. Then only you can get more like specific movements. just want to do this so I can show you one more thing regarding weight paint. That's a lot of magazines. It's fine, never mind. So go select the bones here, and then here you can adjust just like how we did in texture paint. You can adjust how much weight it will apply, so that way you were not applying too much weight. And you can do the radius as well, so that now I'm covering more, and the strength of it, so you have to press more in order to make more, versus if you have a lot more strength, then look how much it covers. And the weight, and this will make it easily like more red. And then the radius, you just max it out, and that's like, now you make the whole thing red. So those are key things when you work with that. So just realize bone 4 is the top one, bone 3, then you have bone 2, bone 1. So if we have names enabled, when we go back to the object mode, armature, then you can have the names enabled, then you can see each name, then it'd be more easier for you to weight paint. And then the bottom one, just like our, base helper one. So that's mostly everything. I know I was not able to show, showed you rigging, but not keyframing with it. But I hope that kind of gives you an idea of what you could do is make a cylinder, because that's kind of what I did for my demo, is to show the rigging is, use the cylinder, then added these bones. It's a little bit more work to keyframe with bones, but I think the end product will be well worth it. And yes, you could add bones to a cylinder and then make it, bend, and it'll be easy like a slinky or like a snake. So what last thing I would like to show before we finish off here is floating bones. So we'll press X here, delete, Shift A, place an armature bone, and then go to edit mode. We'll do a couple extrusions here. So E, extrude, E. So I'm making like a body skeleton. And then from here, another one like for your shoulders. Then from here for your arm, forearm, and then one for your hand. And then from here, arm, forearm, and hand. And what I'd like to show is floating bones. So if you go here and we'll extrude. Oops. Okay. I have this, like, let's say like finger. It's something Dr. Riggs talked about, that they will use floating bones in certain situations. And that is like, you select this bone. Then I think it's this. Parent. Clear, I believe. So select this, right click on it, split, and then now you can move it separately. So like, now it's not parented, and then now you select them both, and instead of split, I should have separate ones. Okay. Separate ones, grab. then parent make keep offset, I believe. Set the bone as the parent. Okay. Okay, let's do the extrude again. So extrude like a finger, let's say. Then right click on it, separate bone. Now it comes away from it. And then that. Parent. Parent. One second. I'm trying to show floating bones where it's done separated from it, but you can then parent it back to where it maintains an offset. So when you move the other one, it still moves with it. Maybe I should delete all this complicating it. X. Okay. This two. I'm just gonna start a new. Okay. Don't save. Then delete this. Place an armature. And then go into edit mode. We will extrude one out. And then if we go to object, okay. To edit mode. Parent clear, I believe. So clear, disconnect bone, and then you can grab it. So now if you rotate, it's not, but then, so that's where if you want a floating, this parent make connected, no. So what we want to do, I think I'm selecting it the wrong way perhaps. Parent make keep offset, there we go. A little bit of troubleshooting, but so this is something that Dr. Ricks emphasized in lecture, is that the order you do things, the order you select things is very important in Blender. And as you can see, just because that I overcomplicated and didn't select it in the correct order, I was not able to do what I intended to do, which is have this float, but so now it's parented. If we go into pose mode, be able to move it together. Let's go in here, armature, go in collection, and then why is it? should be able to move together. Okay, so we do want to go into pose mode, and there we go. So I think I might have done it backwards, depending on how you want to do this. Okay, so this is parent. So when you rotate it, look at that, it rotates with it, even though it's floating. So yeah, that gives an idea of, you know, how to do floating bones for specific, maybe like fingers or whatever. You want to have it separate from the rest of the arm. This is how you would do it. So that's it for this video. I hope you got the basics of how to do bones, you know, armature and the rigging using weight painting in Blender. This is just to show the basics and not anything too specific, and I hope I give you some ideas for your final project and how you could use a cylinder and bones. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'll catch you in another one. Thank you.